Hey, before we get this video started, I just want to thank all our new subscribers for joining the channel. It really means the world to me. I don't know where this influx of you are coming from, but I appreciate it more than anything in the world. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're loving the content you're watching, please subscribe to the channel. It would be a huge, huge help for me. Thank you so much. All right, let's not beat around the bush. Let's get into day 2. Greetings. Welcome back to another adventurous episode of the Vodkast. I'm your host, as always, Geycen Oliveira. We're moving on to day 2. Listen, every day was filled with so much that I had to timeline day 2 because I totally forgot the things I did and when I did them. Because I remember I had loosely labeled day 2 as bumming around Taunton before Frank's 50th birthday party that night. His party started early in the afternoon. I believe it was like 3:30, so we planned to be there fashionably late around 4:30, which we did. So let me get into this, though, before I get any further. So we left Bolton pretty early. I want to say it was like 7 o'clock, 7:30. And we got to Mendon, which is the town that I grew up in. This is the house I grew up in. I love growing up in that house. I remember waking up one morning and there was a horse on that porch because there was a stable at the end of our road across the street and one of the horses had gotten loose. And so I was out there feeding it apples and carrots until they came to get it. But I just wanted to see that and the church where my father had preached, I guess is the term. So we didn't even get out of the car. I mean, there was really no sense in it. It was really early. Nothing was open. There was a store I wanted to check out called Country Bumpkins, but unfortunately it was closed at the time. So we headed to Taunton, which is kind of the main goal anyway. We didn't get to do a lot of the things. I wanted to walk around my old neighborhood and get pizza there, just because the pizza there is so much better than anything we've ever found in the South. There is no good pizza. You suck. All your pizza sucks. Actually, we tried a food truck the other day that was pretty good, but I'm getting off the subject. So left Mendon. We went to Off-Broadway Diner, which is no longer Off-Broadway Diner, and it's also no longer Off-Broadway because it's not on the green. So we had parked on the green, got out of the car, had a quick look around the Taunton Green from the other side of the road, and then we get to Mimi's Diner, which is apparently there's new owners, and they've also moved over to the bus terminal, which is often where things go to die, like Video Paradise. There was another restaurant in there, a pizza place that was really good when I was a kid. I loved it, but and there was a convenience store, and all three of those are long gone since then. But Mimi's, we were excited about it because it looks like it's a local favorite. I of course got the Portuguese omelet, which is basically linguiça, onions, peppers, with American cheese in a scrambled, an omelet. You know what an omelet is. I don't need to explain what an omelet. Do I? Anywho, I'm not going to. So the day did not start out well. I haven't finished leaving my review for Mimi's, but unfortunately, I do leave good and bad reviews. I want people to know the honest truth of my experience there, and I never mean it to be vindictive or particularly nasty. However, Mimi's may be one of the first places I believe deserves that, because Carol and I ordered coffee. We got our coffee right away. Then we all ordered breakfast, and we all waited 50 minutes. We waited almost an hour for the first plate of food to come out. It all came out separately, so we were like, I wanted to wait. I didn't want to start eating before, the kids and Carol got their food. So by the time we all got our food, it was over an hour. Obviously, some of it was cold at that point, waiting for the other food to show up. We never got asked if we wanted refills on our coffee. We finally had to hunt her down. And now, mind you, this place has maybe 10 tables. And there's maybe 2 or 3 servers. They all seem to work together there. They did not function very well on that morning, though. After having to wait that long, not getting a refill on coffee, the whole experience really just started the day out real crummy. The omelet wasn't bad. The rest of the food was very average at best. So that's my review for Mimi's, unfortunately. And I had actually planned today to be the day I was going to review Buc-ee's, the Overbite, which is a 1/4 pound peanut butter cup. This is insane. No one needs a peanut butter cup this big. It's massive. Like, I could see using it like on a Sunday or something like that if you broke it up. But that's we'll take a bite of it. I'm sure it's going to be great, and we'll be like, hey. And, of course, the beaver nuggets, which, as you can see, there's not many beaver nuggets left. I may not actually get a chance to eat those on camera for you. However, I've had quite a few of them, and they're really good. They're very subtle. They're not overly sweet. They are. Some of them, you can tell, like, the minute you grab one, it's like, okay, that's a gentle coating of whatever it is, the sweetener is on the outside of it. Other ones, it's like, here's 1/4 of an inch of sugar on the outside, and it hits you. And either way, they're good, and when they mix together sometimes, but it is a lot of sugar. However, delightful. I'll tell you more about those, the beaver nuggets, and my food experience at Buc-ee's in episode 3, which will be day 3, which, interesting day. No, that's day 4. We'll cram day 3 and 4 into one so we can make it a smooth, cool trilogy. We don't want to make it a quadrology because nobody remembers that. That's stupid and I hate it. Okay, Mimi's review. Yes. After that, we knew we were going to Frank's party later, so there were a few things, just as a joke, I wanted to get him. On this episode of High from Space, it was our favorite snacky treats you can get either from Little Debbie or Drake or Hostess or whatever. So I got him Ring Dings and Ding Dongs because those were his favorite that he mentioned on there. I also got him a package of birthday cake flavored things because that drives him crazy, and you'll learn about it in that episode if you want to check it out. As a matter of fact, we will be filming a new episode of High from Space coming in October. I can't say much about it now, but I think it's going to go back a little bit more to the old school days of doing things. We'll see how it goes as time progresses, and I'll keep you in the loop nonetheless. What the hell was I just talking about? Okay, yeah. So we went down to that end of town. Lo and behold, there's no Shaw's there anymore. It's like just completely gone. Like they're replacing it with a U-Haul or something like that. Ocean State Job Lot gone. Friendly's gone. Like all these landmarks that I remember are just gone now. And it's like, the one thing I'll say though, the last time 8 years ago I was in Taunton, I didn't miss it as much. Not my friends, but the city itself. The city was, I don't know, falling apart. It felt like things were going really bad, but it seems like the town has really taken a turn. Things were really cleaner than I remember. The streets were a lot smoother than I remember. It was quite shocking. So good job, Taunton. Keep it up, and you never know. You might just find a Geycen in your house. Anywho, yeah, we went to right around the corner because, I mean, what are you going to do? Not go to read more books? I've been going to read more books since I was a little kid, when I was buying little kid books, and then when I was a little older and buying fantasy books. And oh, look at this. This is truly the one that got away. The only other one that I would prefer would be a first edition of The Drawing of the Three. Obviously, the Gunslinger as well. But to see that one, a first printing, first edition of it in my hands for $150, we were on a tight vacation as it was. It's a book I'd love to own one day, but it wasn't meant to be this time. And to be honest, it wasn't in the best of shape, so I probably would have asked for about half off of that. Might have even gotten it, but they didn't remember me in there. Last time I went through, they remembered me. So I asked her if they had any Dragonlance books, because as you guys probably know if you watch this, I've been trying to hunt down all the old Dragonlance books for my son, Griffin, who reads them now, and he loves them, so I want to encourage that to the best of my ability, because no one ever encouraged me to read, or I just didn't like reading. I can't blame anyone for my, not inability to read, but my lack of desire to read when I was a kid. There's something else I wanted to share with you guys. Oh, yeah, let me talk about this real quick. This is the McFarlane Toys Child's Play 2 Chucky action figure. My friend Jess sold her whole collection, not her whole collection, I think she still has probably like her Jaws stuff, but she got rid of everything she had in storage and sold it off. And I said, do you still happen to have Chucky? She said, I'll hold it for you. So this is the Jess and Herbie segment that I'm going to talk to you for a moment about two of my best friends in the world who have always been there for me, and I've never felt like there's been that much of a separation. It sucks. We don't get to go to the dirt mall, or go out to eat as much or jam together or whatever it may be. But at the same time, I know that, like, if I need a Zoom, if I need a little touch of home, if I need a little Jess and Herbie, if I need, just that connection again, like I know they're there, and we've always been in each other's lives, whether we're 609 miles apart from each other or, in the next building over. It's great that a friendship like that can survive, that kind of move. I don't know. And it just goes to show you that things are possible, If you really want to stay friends with people, you can stay friends with people and still be in a big part of their life. Getting to do High from Space with Jess was a huge thing. I think it reconnected her and I and Corey and Frank, and it became nice to know that every other week we're going to sit down and talk about weird shit for a strange little podcast. But it's just, I appreciate them more than they know. And I was so happy that I got to see them each and every day that we were up there. I think, pretty much the whole time. So we got a taste of our good friends and all of our friends. I want to thank everyone that took the time to go out, to Artie meeting us at the Dirt Mall, or Kyle bringing his family to meet us and bring donuts at the seafood place that we ate at. Like, people, it was great. We saw Jen and Jess and Nicole and Corey, and like, just to see everyone like together again was a great thing, and it just makes me want to move back more and more. I've been looking at houses consistently. I'm waiting for a miracle. Like when I left Taunton, I was 29 years old. The world just spun me around, and I don't know what my point was. There was a guy that came to our door and said, "Are you interested in selling your house?" And why not? That opportunity doesn't always arise. He just said, "Name me a price." We named him a price. He didn't flinch. I just want the same situation. I know I'm living in a fantasy world and I can't live anywhere else or I'd be dead. But I just have this idea that one day a same thing's going to come along, a doctor. We have so many new medical buildings going in, so many new apartments. Like, it's insane how congested this part of town is getting, and house values are going through the roof, especially being, it takes me 10 minutes to walk to the hospital. Like, I could literally like hold my arm if it had been severed with like a stump and make it to the hospital before I bled out, I think. Probably not. Don't quote me on that. But either way, Jess, let's check that off. I wanted to mention that for Mimi's. Oh, after Reedmore, we went to Rivendell, which is the nerd store, and it's on the way to Swansea. I think it's Rehoboth, but I didn't plan on going there while we were back. But man, that store is awesome. They also did not have many Dragonlance books, and the ones that they did have were in piss poor shape, and we already had them. So we didn't get them, but we were going to get these necklaces for the boys that they like, these, I don't know, geeky, Celtic, Hammer, Warhammer, Viking, I don't know, all these. They had like 40 different necklaces that you could choose from. And the guy goes, "Hey, just let you know, those are all sold out." And we're like, "Oh, awesome." So I got a book, which isn't within arm's reach, but it's a copy of a book I've already read, but I want Griffin to read it because, if you've never read it, it's Magic Kingdom for Sale Sold by, Jesus Christ, Terry Brooks. That's right. I don't know why I forgot Terry Brooks. I've never read his other series, his bigger series, but all right, let's wrap this thing up. I've already been chatting for longer than I should be here. Read more Rivendell's. Okay. Yeah, then our friend Jess Brunell, who used to be in my band Geycen, said should meet us with her son Donovan at a Dunkin' Donuts it was right across from Rivendell, as a matter of fact, right across the street. We'd actually started to drive back to Taunton because we thought she still lived there. She's like, "No, I live in Fall River now." So we met her, we got coffee, and decided to go to Savers. And Savers is like a Goodwill down here on crack. It's just so good, and they have like legit goods. Oh man, they had a Manfrotto tripod that's like a $350 tripod. It's one of those like kind of gun style that you can set the tension on it and everything. I was like, "Oh, $7? Yes, thank you." And then I realized that the head part, the ball part of it was broken. There was a piece missing. I'm sure I could have ordered the part, but we're not here to talk about that. Okay, so then we're getting close to party time, so we said goodbye to Jess, and she ended up meeting us the following day for seafood, I think. I'm sorry, my days are so confused in faces. It was, like I said, every minute of every day for 3 days. It was pretty much nonstop, except for about 4 to 4.5 hours where I slept each night. Okay, so we went over to Trukey's again, and it was great. They had Panucci fudge, and they had sweetbread, and they had all the things of home, except for one. That's right. The Humi noodles. There should have been hundreds of boxes on every shelf in every grocery store. But you know what? Something happened at the factory. I'm not sure if it was a fire or something where they ran out of ingredients or something got tainted, a rat fell in a vat or something. But either way, there was no Humi noodles. I was heartbroken because we also didn't have time to have a chow mein sandwich, Fall River style. So that means I'll never know the next time I'll have one of those. And I'm starting to get a little itchy. I'm getting a little nervous. Like, I don't want to go through life never having another chow mein sandwich. Not that I'm on my way out anytime soon, hopefully. But we also didn't have pizza. So, fuck. Yeah, so Trucky's is right next to the Packy, which here they're called VABC because they're run by the state. I don't know what the situation is in Massachusetts. I know California, you could buy anything at a Walmart. You can go in and get vodka, which would save me so much time. Come on, Virginia. Come around to that. Come around to it. Okay. Yeah, well, went over to the Packy. Just, it's so funny to like go in there. It was really crammed in there. It was tight. And just pick out what we got, and we left. And we went to the party. Now, one might think that if you are having a 50th birthday party, there's going to be a lot of pictures that existed during the time of said party. And you wouldn't be wrong in most cases, unless you found a group of people that were living in the moment and enjoying being with each other for the first time, in some cases 30 years, you know. Coming out to Frank's party, there were people from, like Dino, Jay, and Desi that came up from Florida. Bob flew out from California. There were so many faces that I hadn't seen together, like not just seen, but seen together outside of a Zoom meeting, that it was just great. And the night flew by. Like, it's literally a blur. I remember getting to see so many people that I hadn't seen in a while. Chris Lambert, Saint Mario showed up, and he he stayed a lot longer than he planned on staying. He had to, after that, go to the hospital to visit his uncle. This is the kind of guy Mario is. That's why I always call him a saint. Like, he's always doing stuff for other people. But it was awesome to hang out with him for, like, in real life for a few hours. Scott Levesque and Frank, obviously. I was really bummed I didn't really get to spend as much time with Frank or Scott, for that matter, as I would have liked to. So it was just tough spending quality time with everybody. Kyle was there, and we got to hang out with Kyle, obviously, on day 3. We'll talk about that in the next episode. But, yeah, it was an experience that, like, it was just a collective, like a group of people who all know, love, and care for each other, hanging out, drinking, smoking a little weed, playing a little cornhole. It was awesome, and I just didn't want that night to end for Frank, for me, for anyone experiencing it, because that most likely could be the last time, like, that collective of people will ever be together, you know? People are getting older. We're all getting older. I hung out with someone yesterday, a friend of our friend Katie. We just met her. I won't give her name on here because I don't know if she's cool with that, but she was 25 years old. And that made me feel so old because she had a 9-year-old son, which means that I could be the grandfather of at least, like, a 9-year-old child. That's insane. Like, within a few years, I could be a great-grandfather. I guess people are having children younger these days, you know, so, or they were. I don't know if they still are. I don't really stay on top of those statistics. I'll have Lucas take a look at it when he gets some time. If he stop picking his nose and get back to work, God damn it. Yeah, you, Lucas. Thanks. Great. Wonderful. I got nothing else to say about it. Like, that day, if it had never had to end, then I would have been perfectly fine with that. But we stayed until, I think it was about 1:30, said our goodbyes, started, saying our goodbyes, and finally got out of there. Drove back. It was very, melancholy state. Just a real feel of completion, like, the world had put an end on one chapter and started a new chapter. I don't know how to explain it any other way, but I want to thank everyone that was a part of day 2 in our whole experience coming home. And we'll be doing this definitely more often as time goes on. Who knows? Eventually we'll make our way back up there. But for now, I'm going to leave you guys. And if you guys are loving the content I'm creating as much as I love creating the content that you guys are watching, would you please consider subscribing to the channel? Our numbers are growing lately. What's happening? Where are they coming from? Thank you, all you new subscribers, for joining the channel. Sorry you have to hang around to the end of this to hear me say thank you. I should have said that at the beginning. I'll cut away and I'll do a little thank you before the intro to the video part. So don't forget to make somebody smile today and make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today, tomorrow. Let's make the world spin a little bit happier and a little bit more Tauntonian. together. Let's sing and dance in the sun and in the rain is one, my brothers and sisters. Live life to the fullest and love every moment of it, because you just never know when that last moment's going to come for you. However, never live in fear of that moment. Always live in love, but never let that inner child die. Ooh-wee. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and take care of those around you who cannot take care of themselves, for they are the ones that need it the most. And if no one has told you today that they love you, the Vodkast loves you very much, just the way you are. All right, guys, do no harm. I'm Geycen Oliveira. This is the Vodkast, and I'll catch you guys a little bit further on down the road. Take care, my friends, and happy adventuring.
Don't go to sleep with a catch it in your pocket.